Hey guys, so I only have two of these as far as I know because I tried to look. I thought I had three. I only have two as far as I know. But this is a very unique, another independent comic series. This was published by, I'm trying to see here, SN Factory, I believe. Yeah, SN Factory. Yeah, I think it was SN Factory. Let me get the flashlight on my camera on my phone, I should say, to confirm that. Here we go. Sin Factory is what it's published. Yeah, the publication here is Sin Factory. It's another independent comic book publisher. The only difference, though, with Anaconda Davida, Anaconda uh, Davari, Daverdi, or whatever it's called, is, as you can tell, it's for adults only. And the reason I have my remote on there, well, pretty much you can guess why. But let's put it this way. If you're a fan or you have a peak interest in what is known as the SV, if you will, of, I guess you could say adult entertainment fantasy wise, SV being, soft vor for short. If you're into that, then that's pretty much what the story is. People told me to check it out because it's one of the rare instances where, well, because nowadays you see it more so than ever if you go to Amazon and Barnes and Noble and places like that. But this was at a time where when this series came out, you know, it was just starting to percolate, but it was just more still of a very rare instance where, going with an independent publisher, you got you more opportunities to get your titles out there. And Sin Factory is one of those publishers that's aligned with the likes of what we just showed, which I just showed you in a previous video with my Furlog collection of titles I have so far, and that being Radio Comics. Sin Factory is tied to them as one of the independent ones out there. And being independent, you're able to, like I said, get away with being able to, have any kind of content published, at that time and even currently, whether it's physically or digitally. And this is one of those instances where I have, like I said, as two fully published independent comics that go into that territory, if you will, of SV, of the fantasy adult sexual entertainment, if you catch my drift. So this is one of them. This is the first issue, and I'm going to I'm gonna basically turn the camera this way just for a moment, guys, so you don't see what the next issue, because I got to cover the next issue. There we go. But yeah, these are pretty lengthy comics, to say the least. Like I said, they're mostly what they are basically is they're anthropomorphic furlough kind of comics, but the main central point is most of the stories, short or not, are about, the female characters being softboard or SV, eaten alive, willingly actually, by snakes or nagas or succubus. You get my drift. You get my idea, or you get the idea there. That's why it's for adults only. Now, the next issue here, of course, is an example of that right there. And you kind of see when it was made just by the phone that's being displayed there, basically when it was published. Again, this is the second issue. I know there's more issues, but I just didn't get my hands on them. But again, like I said, someone told me to check it out because, it will perk your interest and make you wonder, how this was, being, given the green light to be published by, even an independent publisher like Sin Factory. But yeah, overall, it's a fun story. Like I said, it's nothing, like story driven from an anthology standpoint, like Furlog is. You know, it's nothing to that extent. It has stories in there, but most of the stories are just very short term. You know, very short term stories, and they also have little, slices of pictures and little one page things going on, and that's about it. It's kind of like one of those stories, or several of those stories that the Media Hunter did a couple of years ago. You can find it here on YouTube, where he reviewed some comics that were published independently that are not published by like the big three or the big four or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I would suggest, if it does pique your interest, to check out the Anaconda Davida or Davardi, whatever it's called, series. You know, just out of curiosity, because even you will probably wonder how the heck did they get away with doing this, if you know what I mean. But until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are overall. Comment if you like. Check out the Teespring store. Also, check me out at BW Rose's Discussions, all your favorite audio podcast locations, except for Pandora. Also, check me out at VENMO for content you can't get anywhere else except for YouTube. Or you can't get anywhere else because of copyright reasons here on YouTube. Also, check me out at deviantart.com/BVW1979. Also, check me out at patreon.com/BWRosas to support me there. Also, check me out at Venmo at Brian-Walmer-2 and at Cash App at BWRoses98. So until next time, guys, I just thought I'd show you this collection that I have of some of the most strangest comics, or rarest comics, in my opinion, to be allowed to be published even independently based on a certain preference from a sexual perspective of fantasy. So until next time, guys, I'm out.